Welcome everybody to Happiness Patrol. It's time. We're at our 12th episode. Can you believe it? We are at the end of season 1 of Happiness Patrol with The Rise of Skywalker, the last Star Wars film as of the time that we've recorded this. There is Mandalorian and Grogu coming, and who knows what's going to come over the next decades that you're going to be watching us on Happiness Patrol. I hope, fingers crossed. But we've got a great new season coming next month. We'll talk about that more at the end of the show. But first, let's see who I'm going to bring up first. Let's go south and bring in Melanie.
Let's go south. Thinking happy thoughts on this movie.
We can be and we will be critical, I'm sure. But we will not be toxic. The whole point of this show,
absolutely not. The
whole point of the show is to talk about things that make us happy, and sometimes the happiness comes with criticisms.
Sometimes it gets irky, but that's okay.
Exactly.
I'm excited to talk about this one, and I'm excited to get my short list of all the fan edits that Cam's going to bring forth. And usually, I really like watching those over what we then what's been released. So I'm excited for this episode.
Excellent. Speaking of Cam, let's bring him in next. Hey, Cameron.
Hello. Yes, I can't believe we're at the end of this, and I'm such a sicko. I'm like, let's go back and do it again. I'm like dying to watch episode 1 right now, and I don't know. I've got problems.
Well, we do have a recording break for a couple of weeks, so you can easily bang through the whole set of them again.
Absolutely.
In the break.
I will. Yeah. My only expectation going into this movie first of all, at the end of Last Jedi, which I was pretty open that I loved, I think it's a masterpiece. But at the end of Last Jedi, my only thought was good luck to whoever has to make the next one. Because, he didn't leave it in a way where you're like, oh, well, obviously I can see what's going to happen in the next one. It took a little bit of writing challenge. And then my only expectation, the only thing I wanted was some kind of droid team up adventure. I felt like the droids had been kind of shelved in these movies, and I wanted some kind of moment where the droids teamed up, and I think we kind of got it.
There's a whole cartoon series about the droids. Come on.
I know, but I just wanted to see that with BB-8 and the new generation, and Dio was a nice surprise, and we do kind of get it, like even to the smallest extent that R2 is in the X-wing in the final battle where he belongs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Coming in next, let's go with Jess. Hey, Jess.
Hey.
How you doing?
I've got my comfort hoodie to get through this film. Shirt, but remove a letter and mix them around. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah, what the fork?
That was a joke.
Happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts.
That was a Freudian joke.
Exactly. Speaking of jokes, let's bring in Scott. Oh,
there he is. Oh, he looks so dour.
Yeah, because I just finished watching episode 9.
Well, welcome back, Scott.
How's it going? Yeah, I missed last week.
Well, we were all in agreement. We were all in agreement that episode 8 was great. So I don't know if
the thing is, like, the thing I've really come to appreciate about Cam, if I may, is you have an unending fountain of optimism, and it's almost infectious.
It's a problem.
Almost. No.
Almost.
It's a problem.
And then I'm sitting here being like, I think the script they used on Jess's shirt was better than the script for episode 9. And then, I'm doing good. I'm doing fantastic. Just getting over a cold, but I'm on the last day of it, I feel, or tomorrow maybe. I don't know. But hopefully, fingers crossed. looking forward to seeing everyone's thoughts on this. But
did you rewatch it just this?
I did.
Yeah.
This would be my second watch. So
Wow.
I missed episode 8, but I did rewatch it. I watched it in the theaters, and it took me a couple years to get over whatever I just saw, and so I watched it again for our last podcast, and then unfortunately I got called in. But there's a lot to like about episode 8. It legitimately is. There's just more not to like, in my opinion. But on the bright side, we got episode 9 that's going to make everyone happy, and there's nothing bad to say about episode 9. So it makes up for episode 8.
There we go.
See? Positive.
And that's our show, everybody. No, just kidding.
Blessing.
See you next season.
Let's start on the top of the opinions. Cam, we know you love this. Tell us your thoughts.
Cam's over here on mine now.
Oh,
I mean, I really do.
He's in the top corner of mine, so
Yeah, I really do enjoy it. My first watch through in the theater opening night, we again had a big group of people. It moved at such a frenetic pace, and it never really takes a breath, almost to a detriment. Like I really do think, I really felt at the time, and I really do kind of still think that there's stuff missing from this. Like they hacked a bunch out of it in the last minute, because I even remember like the reported runtime changing in the few days leading up to release. I just kind of feel like if there was ever an episode in this saga that needed to be the longest of the 12 movies, or even just the 9 movies, or if there was ever a need to have like an extended cut or a director's cut or whatever, this is the one, because I really feel like there's it moves and moves and jumps and jumps and jumps. That said, I've watched the making of. They have a pretty good making of special, and Mel will be happy. I have 2 fan edits that I'm willing to talk about a lot. I really do think that I finally, after seeing all that, I kind of understand better what they were going for with Rey's journey. But I don't think the filmmakers made it clear enough the first time through, where unless you really dig into it, which we're prone to do on Star Wars anyway, but unless you really dig into it, you don't really understand what it is Rey is quite going through. I'll say this, the best fan edit is the Ascendant. If you're looking for a fan edit, it does so many smart things, and it does it very quickly. For starters, it gets right into the action. It takes that scene where they're playing holo chess or with Chewie, and it moves it to the end of the movie, which is a really nice thing, because you get this moment where Rey goes to Lars's homestead, and the boys and Chewie are in the Falcon at that time playing holo chess. So you kind of feel like they're all together. It cuts the light speed skipping. The puppet show on Pasana is about Luke facing down the AT-ATs. So it really feels like his legend is spreading. It cuts some lines. It makes Rey's lightsaber all craggy and broken like Kylo's, which is kind of cool because her lightsaber had to be repaired. It cuts the scene where you find out Chewbacca's alive before the other characters do. In this one, you find out Chewbacca's alive when Rey finds out, which makes more sense and is a little bit better storytelling. There's just a few things that it does that really kind of make it more palatable. The other version that I'll say is very good is Spence's Final Order version. which actually just builds off the Ascendant, and it does a nice job of it. One thing it does is it basically kills Princess Leia off in the opening scene. It cuts from the boys getting the spy's message to Rey already running and training and leaping through the forest or the jungle, and then instead of getting that force connection with Kylo, her and Kylo get the same force connection of Leia passing away. So, and I think, and you could tell a lot by buying, or when you watch the making of, they were really trying to shoehorn around this footage of Carrie Fisher that they already had at a detriment to the storytelling. And it's the only thing that, I mean, I think they did a fine job considering, but it's the only thing that I think kind of strapped them.
So to go off of two of the things that you have said, and I don't know if I've told you this theory, but it was right around the same time that the film got released, and I haven't seen it since, so I feel like Disney did a really good job of scrubbing it from the web. But it was allegedly one of the creators who worked on the film as an editor and said post-edit what they had been asked to do versus what was originally in regards to Leia's death and in regards to runtime. Yeah. So it was the scene where Leia dies in the film, and this is why I buy this story, because of Harrison Ford. Because Harrison Ford did not want to come back. He didn't want to be a part of it, and they got him to come back. And I don't know if I've said this before, please stop me. But the whole thing was in that scene, and if you go back and watch it, it's very much an editing thing, which was the effort of Leia reaching out to Rey wasn't supposed to kill her. Leia was supposed to force project Han to talk to Kylo, and that effort kills Leia. So it's not I said Rey's name and now I'm dead. And Kylo has such a good imagination that he can picture his dad there, because it's been canonically that only people who have studied the Force, Qui-Gon, like we have it canon, even post Rise of Skywalker, canonically, only the people who have studied the way via Qui-Gon and Yoda, like, to show yourself as a Force projection. So Han was not a Force projection. So he was supposed to be...
I didn't think he ever was. He was a memory. Yeah.
He was supposed to be some type of that. And so, like, I'm sorry, cinematographically, we've never had someone be so out of it that we see them as if someone is standing right in front of us in Star Wars, unless it's a forced vision or something like that. So that felt not making sense. And I feel like if you call Harrison Ford up and you say, hey, I know you don't want to come back as Han, but we need you to be Carrie's voice as a force projection of Han, that is what I can see him agreeing to. Because, like, you're saying she doesn't have a voice, I'll do this to honor her. I will be her voice for this. And so by them, in theory, allegedly changing it post-edit, they have just discredited Harrison Ford. They have just discredited Leia and her character, because they're saying, oh, she did the same thing she did with Luke on Bespin, but it was a further time, so she died, although Luke was able to force project over a much larger distance for a much larger, and I know she was already sick and they played that, but I feel like that adds so much more of an impact of her dying breath was to communicate with her son. And that makes so much more sense. And if you watch it, it's an easy editing thing of when they have Leia come in and say Rey, and then the other portion of it. So it very much felt like it was done post-op. Not post-op. You can tell I work in healthcare. Yeah. Well, it felt like a surgery. No. Post-edit.
Surgical precision.
Yeah, surgical precision.
I will say in the final order edit, because Princess Leia is is killed off immediately, and it's alluded to in the roll up that she's on her last legs, and because they do that moment when Kylo and Rey are on the piece of the Death Star and they're fighting with the waves crashing, what it comes down to is Kylo raises his lightsaber and he has Rey down and looking weak, and then he's hit with some memories of that, like them touching hands and this and how much he cares about her, and he hesitates too long, and then he drops his lightsaber, making a choice to not go full dark, and that's when Rey catches it, goes full dark, stabs him, and instead of the Leia's voice coming in, it's a little bit of like the Sith chanting, speaking that has been kind of throughout the prequels and whatnot. And then she has this moment after she stabs him where she's like, oh my God, Kylo didn't go full murderer and I did. And it is actually kind of an impactful moment, and it's very well edited for, a non-professional fan edit. It's very well done, and I enjoyed it.
And my issue with that scene in general, and it's to something you said of like the implication that Rey's going dark in that moment and Ben's not making the strike or whatever. But I feel like they worked so hard to tell the story of you are not where you came from. It doesn't matter where you came from. And then this film was like, oh no, you will always be where you came from. It doesn't matter how much work you do. You can not even know your parents or your lineage. However, if you come from darkness, you'll be darkness. Don't even try to work against it. And if you come from good, don't worry, you'll be good. Like, even if you try your hardest to be a baddie, you're going to just make good decisions. And it's like, that felt like such mixed messaging from everything else of Star Wars.
It felt like to me, that felt like bad storytelling.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to feel like bad storytelling. It is bad storytelling.
That's fair.
There's I mean, again, there's some wonderful things in it. I liked the Kintsugi or whatever it's called, chimpanzee that rebuilds the helmet for him. And
Babu Frick?
no, not well. Babu Frick is amazing,
Babu
but
Frick.
I absolutely adore Babu.
Yeah, do not
Babu
keep his name
and
out of
Zellen's
your
are
mouth.
amazing.
Yeah.
This person I absolutely love, and I'm
the best
very
part of-
thankful that those came into being. But
In
there's
the
just
Mandalorian
so much more that I don't
Grogu
like.
trailer when he's like, baby.
Yeah.
Is that in the trailer? Is that in the teasers? I don't remember. Whatever.
Wayfinders, are the Wayfinders something that comes up a lot in Clone Wars or the books or anything like that? Is that like a thing?
They made it just for this.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Because I kind of feel like that's a J.J. Abrams, a map to a map to a map with a clue.
Yeah, that's
I
not.
don't love that kind of stuff.
No.
So I know we're trying to stick positive,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if this is positive.
Okay.
But one of the things I'm kind of disappointed. So like we've been through this whole thing, and the very first scene where it's a little bit in, but when Rey gets back and is so concerned over the Falcon, and Poe gets back and he's so concerned over BB-8, and they're like right at each other. Did anyone else watch that and go, wait, are we doing this? Are they doing like that? Felt sexual tension. And I don't pick up on sexual tension. Like, I'm sorry, I'm asexual. I don't read into the situation. So I was watching that and I was like, when did this happen? And then nothing came of it.
That it wasn't him. I was disappointed that it wasn't him and Holdo in that moment, because if Holdo had stayed alive, like I said, again, in a world where you knew Carrie Fisher was going to pass away, and you swap those two outcomes and Holdo's alive, having Poe have that kind of back and forth kind of, Lee Brackett, big sleep,
that, like, banter and stuff.
Yeah, banter. Yeah. It would be very interesting and sexy. But Rey is not really a sexual character in any way, and I don't think she was meant to be really romantically linked with Poe or Finn in any way. Also, the end of 8, there was that kind of odd but lovely, kind of strange moment where Poe and Rey meet for the first time and
Yes.
introduce themselves. And it's wild to go from like, oh yeah, I've heard about you, we've just met, to then, oh, suddenly they want to get into this like
Yeah.
Han and Leia.
And there
Back
was
and
like a
forth.
time jump and stuff like that. So like they
Yeah.
felt like they were like either they had tried dating and it didn't work,
Yeah.
or like that's kind of like there was, and it wasn't like I was sitting there going like, oh my gosh, I ship this, because like as you said, not a very like sexual person or anything like that, which is
Mhm.
why I felt like
It was
this
misplaced.
same person that I got that other information for had also posted that at the very end, when it's her and Ben, he's not supposed to die immediately. They were supposed to have a full conversation, which is why all of the actors and the director kept saying it's a platonic kiss. And I think that was a Disney post-edit of, no, we need the romance. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, we freaking don't. Like, why do
It's
you...
lovely. It is
You
it
have
is
a female...
lovely
Yeah, but they have a
moment.
female lead, so you have to have romance.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's sexism and sorry, I'm done.
Yeah.
But like that's what it is, because Luke didn't have a love interest. Like,
did.
and you're trying to
It did his
redo
sister.
it
did happen.
long term.
Well, I've talked about it. Go back to that
But
episode.
that's where I thought they were kind of doing with Poe of like oh, are they a will they, won't they? Like I would be down for that to kind of build but not ever happen, of them kind of giving that little bit of a ooh, ship this. And instead it felt like, oh, you want to possibly think about her with someone? No, you have to have Kylo as her love interest, because we're Disney and we have to have women with men because they are nothing without men. Sorry, once again.
It felt like that.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I think that just lends into so much for me in this film, in this particular movie, was just retconning the second one. And because there's a lot in this where it started, because I know that they clearly had an implied time skip. And so therefore there was we're going to imply that a lot more story happened before this and that you just don't know about it. And I really didn't like that. I was more confused. So again, the storytelling part. So yeah, the finding out from the last movie that Poe and Rey finally meet each other. That's kind of okay. You're like, oh crap, yeah, you're right. That is kind of late for a sequel trilogy to have 2 of your 3 main characters finally meet. Okay, cool. Great guy, great job, guys.
And they were both at the Resistance base at the same time. We just never saw them meet on film, so they didn't really need that. Like, it could have been like we're all together again. That's nobody was questioning it. Nobody was saying, hey, they've never been in the same place, but they have been,
And there was, for me on this one, was where once again, this is your 3rd movie. We know this is a trilogy. It's being marketed as a trilogy. Why am I getting so many new characters again? Why are they all in the J.J. Abrams deck of cards of, okay, well, here's Dominic Monaghan. Here's everybody you've seen in Lost. I'm just going to go ahead and get Grimberg in here now. I'm just going to here we go. And Rose, did you have lines? Oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and split all your lines to 2 other people.
She felt very shelved, and actually
And so
Kerry
did-
Russell's
so
character
did
was really
Finn.
cool. I thought that was a cool character. I think, again, another thing that they kept introducing and didn't give us was the Knights of Ren, and I think there's 2 really good options where, when they go up to Ochi's ship and Rey just suddenly walks away and walks out into the middle of the desert because Kylo was coming. That would have been a very good opportunity to see her battle the Knights of Ren first, and then Kylo comes in. Or on Kijimi, when they show up and say Ren wants the girl alive but kill everyone else, that could have been a setup for a big battle with them. Maybe they could have killed Zori, Kerry Russell's character, and with her dying breath, she could have said, take this token, which will get you on the capital ship, as opposed to, you take it, I don't need it,
Mhm.
And then we don't really need her to show up again in the battle, because the message was passed on by Babu Frick anyway, that
Mhm.
there's still this hope. The message wasn't passed on by her, and she does show up, but who cares? Like I don't know. There are so many little things where it's just like again, I think JJ is great at setting things up, but he doesn't understand how to close.
Yeah.
He's not a closer.
So, of all the things he takes, so I've been kind of just making notes while you guys go off. I'm really legitimately hoping someone would say something that would change my opinion on this. Of all the things to take from the Star Trek films he did, the Kirk dying and then being spoilers, Kirk dying and being back and then being like, why don't we just swap it out for Chewbacca? I was like, it's no point. It's meaningless.
Yeah.
And especially at a time where we're killing off main characters, it does add a little bit of, oh, they really did do that. Okay. And then like 2 minutes later, you're like, oh no, he's fine. It's just like
in the original like in the Disney version, it's like 2 minutes later, and then you see him on the Star Destroyer, and you're like, oh, he's alive. But the main characters don't know he's alive, and then they have this kind of heartfelt scene where it's like, if we don't do this, Chewie died for nothing, and we're all going, well, he's not dead, like
Yeah.
Again, it feels like everything got compressed, and
Jess's shipping thing. I know she didn't do it, but she talked about it. Because we're going through the Forces feminine stage of Star Wars, I don't think that was planned. I honestly think if there was anything there, it would have been stripped out. Secondly, whatever you think these writers could have done, they most definitely couldn't. We just saw it. So whatever happy thoughts you have, if the writers could have figured it out, they had all the Disney money in the world, and this is the best they could come up with. Okay, do not have hope.
I'll tell you right now that the more money, the worse off you are. Having
More money, no problems.
Yeah. Having money does not make it easier to make the movie make sense.
I agree. But you couldn't hire like a second-year English student to write it. Like
they need restrictions.
So we had to stick with like junior, like grade 9 level writing. Okay, cool. Like
no, because they in the ninth
somehow.
In the 9th grade,
I know.
You knew what foreshadowing is, and you knew how to do. You started learning how to write.
Okay.
I don't really mind the Palpatine coming back. It wasn't really handled that great, but I did think there were moments like
I would be fine with it if they did it well, but having a throwaway line of saying somehow, I don't know how, somehow
just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
we wouldn't.
And I love how it was an exasperated sigh. I think that was one of the greatest line reads I've ever seen. Somehow Palpatine just hands across. I got to deliver this line. Here it is.
So they already stole the Katana fleet from Heir to the Empire. They that's what we saw. They just didn't call it the Katana fleet. So for one, I'm sorry, don't steal other people's writings and don't give him credit. Timothy Zahn. They've stolen everything of his, and they're not giving him credit. But the Katana fleet was in Legends.
Like if it was so poor.
But Katana fleet was in Legends. If you want to bring back frickin' Palpatine and cloning and stuff, don't do it as Palpatine. Do it as Jarus Sabayoth, which we never got. Have that be the big bad that was literally a clone of a Jedi general. What a wonderful way to pull in Clone Wars. If you're going to pull in Heir to the Empire, pull in frickin' Heir to the Empire.
That's why we're getting it.
It was done well. I'm sorry, Timothy Zahn can write. So go to someone who can actually write and have a good plot. There's a reason that he has such a following and such a fandom, and they keep taking his ideas and stories and butchering them and going, "Oh, it's Star Wars," and it's stop. You can't write Thrawn if you're not smart enough. If you're not a tactician, you can't write Thrawn. I'm sorry, Dave Filoni, but you're not smart enough to write Thrawn. He's just not. I'm excited to have Thrawn, but pull the original writer in for a consultant
Mhm.
If you're going to bring in the Katana fleet, pull a consultant who's on your payroll. Like, here's the thing. I'd understand if they didn't have Zahn and he was part of the excommunicated legends, but he's not. He's on Disney's payroll. He writes for
is.
Disney.
So
He is.
okay, so
Sorry.
no, it's not
Soapbox,
that,
I'm
it's
off.
not that. It's that I'm sitting here going like, I'm pretty sure both Dune movies that we just recently got have a lower budget and better writing. Better, like,
And
they're
source
just
material.
legitimately better at all.
Source material.
But those were adaptations.
Source
though.
material.
Yeah.
We're here talking about how great Star Wars is. If the writers had watched a Star Wars film or read a book that had Star Wars in it, the source
I'm sure they
material
were
would be there.
steeped in it.
But all they did was read like my first Star Wars and went, oh, I understand how these characters are. This is great. And then they did it, and it just blows my fucking mind.
Well, it also feels like
Sorry?
it's they're calling in their buddies.
Mhm.
I didn't hear what Dave said.
I was just gonna say it took me to this movie to figure out what was bothering me about the whole trilogy compared to the prequel trilogy. The prequel trilogy, all from beginning to end, felt like a video game. You had action sequences. It was fast moving. I didn't feel, Cam, you said that it had a breakneck speed in this movie. I didn't feel like it did.
Not like in an F1 race. Like it was, or not like episode 1 where it's like yes. It was just like they were trying to cram too much into a shorter run time. That's what
I think it's more. We know where we're going.
Yeah.
Or we're trying to make up from what we just did.
That's what it felt like.
That's 100%.
That's
a lot of
people say
so
that,
long. Is
I
trying
actually
to do 2 of them to make up. For
I
the
actually
fact that
and
episode 8 happened.
As being a fan already, like I'm in that section of the population that loves Last Jedi and loves everything it did. But I actually don't think it retcons as much as people think. I think it does actually flow quite nicely between the two. And a lot of people think that 9 is just an effort, just a constant effort to like break down everything that happened in 8. But I don't see that. I do see it as a continuous flow of the same ideas. So I think that's fine. Obviously, I'm saying, I do. It's something I love, but would love to change. It's so strange. It's like a beautiful house that needs renos.
Well, and my thing with like 7 and 8 is I left 7 and I was like, okay, this is a good base. Let's see where they go. And then they gave us 8, and I was like, ooh, okay, not a huge fan of a lot of it, but we can pull it out in the end. So like maybe they can make sense of it in 9 and it'll all be worth it. And then it just wasn't. 9 made me hate 8 more. And I didn't hate 8. I just I didn't hate 8. I wasn't one of the haters or anything. I was very much like, I have some serious issues with this, but like maybe you can like make it all worth it. Because I'm not saying retcon everything. I'm saying if you're going to make these drastic things, then we need to have really good outcomes and really good reasons and really good storytelling to make me look back on 8 and go, it was rough and I hated it when I watched it, but like it was worth it. And then I watched 9 and I was like, that made it so much worse. And so like now I look back at like 7 and 8 and I'm more saddened and I almost hate it more because it's like you see the potential and it's like when you go back and you watch Anakin as a little boy and you're like, look how adorable and how much potential he had to do so much good and look how much he messed up. And that's how I feel about episode 9.
9 made me appreciate 8 even more. I will say this, as speaking of Anakin, I would have loved it. This is a wish list item. I would have loved it if when R2 gives 3PO his memory back, instead of being like, oh, I'm going off on a adventure with Rey, her first adventure. I would have been great if he gave him his memory back and he went, oh no, Master Anakin is Darth Vader, and gave his whole memory back. and really connected the whole saga. I think that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
So
Master Luke, Darth Vader's your father.
Yeah, oh my god, I gotta tell Luke that Darth Vader's his dad, and everyone would just be like, "Oh my god, 3PO."
I think that would have been brilliant. That would have been absolutely
That would have
brilliant.
been really funny.
Yeah, it was a good
think-
missed moment. But
Where I was going was with the first ones being breakneck pace and a video game pace.
Mhm.
They tried to do something more dramatic. And I don't think drama. Now, Andor aside, Andor is not drama. Andor is political intrigue.
Mhm.
I don't think drama is what Star Wars does well. Star Wars does action. Star Wars does popcorn.
and
well.
and emotion. It like if you look at Rey's journey start to finish, it is a very emotional,
Definitely.
you know.
I had emotions, all right.
Yeah,
not-
and
it's not
it is.
dramatic.
You're right, though. It had they gone full popcorn, it maybe would have been a better choice from the
And
start.
with Rise of Skywalker, if you think back, I don't remember any big merch push with Rise of Skywalker. It felt like they were putting out a drama movie. There was obviously there was going to be some merch out there,
Star
but
Wars stuff.
there was
yeah.
no Dio action
Hollywood doesn't make action
No, they
figures
had
for
toys.
movies they think are going to bomb.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
Star Wars
remember buying my
has
human
always
sentient.
been about-
There were Dio toys all over Galaxy's Edge.
were there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
There
can see.
were
I
Dio
mean,
toys everywhere.
they
They were
had the mechanism in place by that point to really push it. But you're right. We weren't getting Dio cereal the way we got
Yeah.
C-3PO.
Studios.
Or
Yeah.
Porgs. Porgs
Um,
were absolutely everywhere. BB-8 was absolutely everywhere.
They didn't have a lot. They had a
Absolutely,
Slurpin. There wasn't a lot of like new, fun, cute things to really
Yeah.
go to.
There was
Yeah.
800 new characters in the ninth one. You couldn't
There's a
have
lot of
said
new
that.
characters, and
I didn't even
but
mind.
then again in that final battle, they could have brought back the Guavian Death Gang and Kanja Club. It would have been so fun to be like, yeah, they were bad guys to Han Solo, but they don't like the First Order. Like
Right.
there could have been more pulls if they wanted to really pull and really show us. But yeah,
A unified
I
force.
think
the
honestly,
only
I think-
other. Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead, Scott.
No, I think the biggest problem, the more I think about the sequel trilogy, is them defining out the factions. The more I've been thinking about it as we chat, when you go back to 4, 5, and 6, and before you became a Star Wars fan, the idea that the Jedi were separate from the Rebels and that the Sith were separate from the Empire doesn't really come up much. It just is. These are your factions, right? The good guys and the bad guys. And then when we get into more deeper into the stuff, that's where we went, oh no, Sith and Jedi have their own thing. They're their own rebel and empire, and the rebel and the empire doing the thing. Then we got bounty hunters, and we got mercenaries, or like the scum and villainy. Yeah. And we started really like Game of Thrones in this thing. And that works really well when it's a TV series, and works really well when it's a comic book or a book where you can have this room. But I think this might be where the sequel trilogy as a whole faults. I feel, if I'm getting Dave's point correctly, and I think I agree with him, is the minute they went, let's really dig into each element of this, nothing gets to stand on its own. When it was just a popcorn flick, an action movie that came out in May, the beginning of blockbuster summer, it works. It works really well. But when you start to really take it serious, honestly, I think the sequel trilogy just takes itself too serious.
Yet at the same time, they're so afraid to have anything political. And
Well,
would it have killed them,
look-
at least in the first one, to
Look at
explain?
Andor. But the first one is political.
To explain a little bit of like where politically the First Order stands compared to the
Episode
Republic.
1 is politics.
Yeah,
The whole thing is based on a trade
that was
dispute.
episode 4.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's politics. Like that's, and I think that's why Andor, of all things, I think Andor understands Star Wars better than anything else that's come along in a very long time. It gets the core of Star Wars, which is this one versus the many, this oppression. That's because that's the core of Star Wars. I don't have much left on that idea, but the whole time you guys are talking, and you brought up the prequel trilogy, and the first thing I thought of was like, well, it's weird that 20 years later we got worse Star Wars, which makes the first ones look better. I'm worried in 20 years, what's the worst Star Wars that's going to make the sequel trilogy look
The
better?
worst Star Wars is still yet to be made, and the best Star Wars maybe could still yet to be made.
And
too.
then, when I rank them, yeah, no, and I agree. If you think about before Rogue One, in my opinion, Star Wars is great. I love Star Wars, but Rogue One really showed me that, there's a potential that we can have fun, we can tell a great story, but we can take it serious, and we can do all, like, we can chew gum and walk at the same time. Like it, and then with the sequel trilogy, it doesn't feel like it can. It feels like it's either talking down to the audience or trying to talk past the audience, and I don't know who it's for. And I think that's the biggest sin of the sequel trilogies. I don't know who it's for.
Yeah, do 8 to 10-year-olds understand what Rey is going
But
through
also,
as
I agree. But also,
someone who's looking for their place
I
in the
shouldn't need a
galaxy?
flow chart to figure out how she's possibly able to be Palpatine's blood.
Regardless of
Like-
her lineage, it's just like,
Yeah.
what's
It's-
her journey?
the problem
It's pretty complex and emotional adult stuff.
the problem as a whole is when you look at the prequel trilogy, it does. And I know the Clone Wars TV series was starting to spin up roughly about that time, but the Clone Wars TV series really sums up what the prequel trilogy is. Every episode starts with breaking news, like
Newsreel.
war in the galaxy, and that
War
like
in the
kind of
galaxy.
pulpy what Lucas started this as. And when you go back, it's super colorful. It's somewhat cheesy in a weird way. And it's easy to grok. Now that I'm saying this, I realize that the first time my mom ever went, I don't understand Star Wars, was the sequel trilogy. She just couldn't get it. My mom likes Westerns, and my mom likes political intrigue, loves Game of Thrones. She understands this stuff. Did not like the prequel trilogy. We were talking about it one day. She likes the sequel trilogy. She likes the main stuff, doesn't like, and a lot of too dark was the word she used a lot. She's like, I don't like it. I haven't shown her Andor. She's not going to like that at all. But
I love it. Yeah.
No, but like it's, and I think more and more I think about it is, it's who is this for? And if you're saying diehard Star Wars fans, the diehard Star Wars fans seem to overall outside of camp has universally rejected it. And I think that's where you're seeing with the Andor.
You'll see adoption later, just like with the
That's what I'm saying. In 20 years, when we have
as
something
they
even
fill
worse
in
to
the
compare
gap.
this to, you're like, I really don't like eating shit, but it's better than the mountains of shit I was eating before. So I guess I'll eat my shit now. Like,
Yeah,
I'm going to be
they'll fill
super
in some
cheeky.
gaps and stuff.
Ooh, cheesy. I like cheesy.
I'm going to be cheeky.
Oh,
I think the way to summarize all of this is they really lost the plot. Both
Maybe.
the plot and the who is the audience.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
Well,
That's
it-
like
it's, you
The
know, because they were
audience
like,
of the-
oh, they lost the plot as the saying, but
Well,
also as
my-
the actual.
my nieces love this the sequels because they were, let's see, they're 8 and 10 by the last one, so they started off really young, and then they've
5.
as
Yeah.
going older, they kept watching.
yeah.
I personally would love to see in 10 years for them to watch it again and then find out the ever so fun words of, does it hold up?
Mm.
And
Yeah,
for
and
them,
again,
because they loved it then, does it hold up?
actually,
but once they fill
Yeah.
in more gaps and answer more questions, like,
oh,
I mean, at the end of when we just had 3 movies, when we had Star Wars, Empire, Jedi, and we just devoured them over and over and over, we were discovering new things about them, and look at how they've spawned. You know, they were
That's
the
what I was just
seeds
about
that
to
had,
say.
yeah, exactly. They
And that's what
spawned
I would
this
love to
whole
see from-
universe.
It's too much Star Wars.
Their perspective.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I think the issue
There's too
with
much
that is,
Star
though, is the
not enough.
the sequel, the prequels, and the original trilogy. They stood without needing additional information. Now, did we get amazing additional information from
Clone
books and
Wars.
media? That's
Mhm.
great. But I
Yeah.
feel like the problem with the sequels is without additional information, you're like, what
What
happened?
am I looking at? Yeah.
What am I looking at? Who
Yeah.
are the Knights of Ren and why did they show up for 5 minutes? And now
Again
they're
and again and again.
again
like,
and
I
again,
think-
but we don't know who
Yeah.
they, and they're like, oh, well, you got to check in this encyclopedia on this page. They've got a little snippet of their origin, and it's like,
which we're willing
Now,
to
see, the
do.
funny thing is for
but
them,
it, yeah.
the Snoke Palpatine, they got confused because they didn't live, breathe Star Wars prequels and sequels, or prequels and original. So they were completely confused with that part. And I know they love the second one. They love the first one. They love the second one. But the third one for them was kind of like, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't get it. So, and I think that just falls back to what we were talking before, is the cohesion of the three. There's a disjoint between 11 and 12.
and if there's a time jump, that needs to be accounted for. You can't go, well, did you do your homework before you came and watched the film?
Mhm.
Because there was a time jump. So I need you to agree that, like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
media.
another
You should
thing.
enjoy it.
These fan edits, they do have to rewrite. I mean, they don't have to, but they choose to rewrite the opening crawl in all the other fan edits I've seen, the good ones and the bad ones. They kind of rewrite the opening crawl to fill in some of those gaps a bit, which is what the opening crawl is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Is there Is
yeah,
there a fan edit where they just killed off, or I think you did say that they just killed off
Leia?
Leia?
Yes, yeah. This
the very beginning,
the
just
Final Order, and honestly, some of those scenes are really hard to watch. Like the scene where the Jedi pilot comes up and she's like, try to be optimistic, and he's like, oh, it's going great, it's great. Like that scene, nobody needs that scene. It doesn't. It's just a way of cutting away to Leia and then cutting back. It just feels so shoehorned in, and I get it. It was an insurmountable loss, losing
Yes.
Carrie Fisher in the middle of this trilogy.
Well, at all, really, but
Yeah, I mean, it just at all. Like, it's absolutely an
Yes.
insurmountable loss to the saga, to the world, and I think they were doing their best to try to honor her, but like it might have seemed callous if they just killed her off in the official version. Even in the roll-up, Princess Leia has died, would be a wild thing to see in the roll-up.
But like Black Panther 2, they were able to do that, and they were able to honor Chadwick. So I'm kind of like on that. But although that came out 3 years after this, so it makes me go, maybe they learned that, they looked at that and went,
yeah,
we're doing this.
I think that honestly, I mean, people would have been up in arms, but had they just made it Leia's story, like they kind of originally at one point said, that the first one was Han's, the next one was Luke's, and the third one was going to be Leia's, or whatever they were saying. If they just said, okay, we're going full deep fake CG Leia, and she's going to lead this whole movie, and you'll really see. I mean, I don't know if that was ever really the intention, because these older actors, they did kind of push to the background a little bit. But yeah, if they just went, okay, we're going to CG her, and it might seem a little callous right now, but in 40 years, when you look back at the trilogy, it'll make sense, kind of thing.
I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, maybe we're glad they didn't. Maybe they should have, but what they chose to do, I don't think worked. And God bless them, they tried, but it just wasn't
Star Wars film
the way to do it.
where Princess Leia is entirely CG is the best Star Wars film. Just put that out there. So
A New Hope, or Rogue One,
Rogue One.
With the way that they got her line in there, and she looks great. And
also, I realized who the audience is as you guys were chatting.
Disney annual pass holders.
No,
because that would be me. Sorry.
Stockholders.
Yeah. But that said, if you want to make money, you would do an even more popcorny, even more merchandisable movie, which they really chose not to. and they had some incredible creatures. That
Or
the scene that John
writers
Williams
weren't
is
good enough
in.
to figure it out.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. John Williams making an
Yeah,
appearance on screen is.
Yeah.
loved it.
Well, if you didn't know that's who that was, it was still kind of cool. But no, and if you watch the behind the scenes, all of the stuff, all of the junk around John Williams was designed after each of his award nominations.
Yeah.
And that showed so much class.
There was a lot of love put into this movie,
Yeah.
and same with 8 and 7 too, you know, but I don't know that JJ 100%. I mean, he knew he wasn't planning to come back, but I don't know how excited he was at first. He seemed very nervous in that behind the scenes. But yeah, there was, I mean,
But I also
let's say
wonder
that
how
these
much of it was
filmmakers-
JJ, because we did lose 45 minutes after he handed it over to Disney.
yeah, it
And
got hacked down.
that's my thing is everyone likes to rag on JJ Abrams for that one, and like you are you
Is that-
kidding me?
This
Sorry.
cat is all over
I was
the
gonna
place.
say, is that where Finn went? Because
Maybe
It might have been, and that's what I'm wondering. Oh my goodness, can I help you? But that was my thing is I have never been like blaming JJ Abrams because I wasn't in the room. I don't know what his cut was. I would love to see his cut, so then I will say whether or not it was JJ or whether or not it was Disney. I will say the motifs and the things that I disliked about it tend to be motifs and themes that Disney pushes in a lot of their stuff that they have a lot of oversight in. And so that's why I've been placing a lot of on the shareholders, on the Disney, on corporation, on what they think we want, as opposed to JJ Abrams. Although he does historically, he can't finish it. He's not good at conclusions. But it's one of those where I have not felt great saying this was all his fault, knowing that there's at least 30 to 40 minutes missing from the cut he handed over to Disney. So that's where part of my thing comes in of like, historically, he doesn't do well with endings. However, I don't know because I never got to see it.
Worth mentioning too, there was another director involved, Victoria Mahoney, directed all the second unit, all the Pisana section of the movie, the speeder chase, and did a lot of great stuff. She's a great director, and I think you can see all those decision making moments in the behind the scenes, and you're like, okay, when they're really trying to figure out what this dagger is, and they're looking at all their other options, and they're just like, this isn't it. Like, it's not a scroll, it's not a message, it's not a holographic message. We need something that feels different. And they were really like, this is way after the script was written. They were in production trying to figure out this dagger, and so many people are so upset about this dagger. But I just think if that dagger was in Return of the Jedi, people would think it was the coolest thing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I don't think we give this trilogy a chance the way we gave the other.
I didn't have an issue with the dagger. I had an issue with the writing of like, I just happened to land at the place where I can hold it up. Like the
well, they had the coordinates. They knew the exact coordinates from the
for
Sith
the planet, not for where you are on that planet.
Oh,
they
I thought it
didn't
was for the exact
plan.
moment of here's the one thing I never understood about this movie. How did the landing gear break on the Falcon? They landed it just fine in the desert,
There was
and
just
then it
a
got
lot
towed.
that didn't make
Like that's where I feel like there's stuff missing,
Yes.
If I'm going to blame J.J. Abrams for something, it's not going to be for his directing. His directing was fine.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he was one of the writers.
Well, they were all kind of writing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where the biggest failures was in the script.
But we didn't even get to see the script the way the script was, because I remember him getting interviewed and him saying, "That's not my film."
That's fair, and that's fair.
Like he did say that. He was like, "That's not my film." Like I don't remember when I saw that, but I was like, he said that. He was like, no, I'm interested to see it. It'll be the first time. Like, he said that during the press
That's
roll of it.
interesting.
And I was like, something's happened. So, like, I would say with the writing, but maybe that would be fixed, because how much editing can change based off of A New Hope.
No, very true.
Because that writing was crap until we had it edited by Lucas's
lends
wife.
a lot to him stating years after that, oh yeah, we never had any to plan for these movies. I'm going, you're going to tell me that you're going to have the buy-in of how many billions of dollars and stockholders and all that kind of stuff, and y'all didn't have a plan?
Oh, but Kathleen Kennedy said it's not like we
you're
have
backtracking.
comics or books or anything to pull from. We're having to come up with this on the spot.
Yeah, but that's what Timothy Zahn does too, because he's smart and what he
George Lucas
does.
did.
No, because I went to a panel with him. You'll be okay. It'll be fine, Jess. I promise. I went to a panel with him.
Oh, I was talking about
Kathleen, and he even said that one of his because people were asking, how is it that you were able to come up with such amazing thing? With Coruscant, how did you come up with so much world building and all this kind of stuff with all your stories? And he goes, well, the first thing I do is I go onto the small site called Wikipedia. I type in a planet, and if there's a lot of stuff written by it, I go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to an alien and I type it in. If there's a lot written about it, I don't do it. And he keeps going until he finds things where it's been referenced, doesn't have anything written about it, and goes, that's where I'm going to set this. So that way you don't accidentally bump into something else. And I'm like, that's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to swing back to something that did work, because we touched on it and then immediately moved on to some of the less positive things. Babu Frick was adorable.
Yeah, Babu Frick was great.
That was amazing.
And I loved that conceit too, that 3PO couldn't translate. Like, that was actually kind of cute.
I did not like the fact that he couldn't translate Sith. Here we go. Sorry,
said, you lead the way and we'll just follow or something. But I thought it was a cute little conceit, and it could have turned into something really cool. And I thought that Kijimi planet was very interesting. And again, I don't want to be negative, but I will say the thing that Star Wars does better than anything else is believable real world environments where everything feels lived in and real and has a history. And in all of that, like, Coruscant is so complex and interesting. Tatooine is so interesting. Every planet we've been on has been so well designed and so interesting. And Exegol is the worst designed planet I've ever seen in my life. Like, nothing really makes sense. Like, they're living on this planet where it's just, it's lightning storms and barren. And if it is as ancient society, like, these paths would be so well worn.
Yeah.
And it feels like Kylo's walking through something that has never been walked through before, or is like an ancient ruin that's never been discovered. He goes down like a Mario 64 elevator, which nothing feels real and interesting and lived in. Like, can you imagine for even a second where all these Sith supporters that were in the stands watching his ceremony, where do they live? Where do they work? What do they do? What is their life? And it just feels so poorly constructed, which is weird in a Star Wars.
One thing for you, Cam, since you bring up Kijimi, I know I've brought us up in the entirety of the rest of our series in Star Wars Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
You get to go to Kijimi, and it's amazing.
Yeah. I gotta get
so
there.
Again, another soundbox kind of. And there is, and I will say that game does lift a lot from the sequel trilogy, and you get to play and then be more immersive. And again, it's kind of like we were kind of commenting before on awaiting the other stuff that will keep coming out that will kind of help flesh all this out and make it better.
I'm guessing you don't get to go to the barren wasteland that is Exegol.
No, you don't.
And at what point, like, how many? I've seen this now today. I watched it today, and it was my 20th watch. At what point did you realize that opening scene took place on Mustafar? First time?
I knew that because of history things, because they said that it was barren after, like, it was, once again, it's in an encyclopedia somewhere.
It took me a few watches, and actually the Ascendant adds a few more kind of establishing shots that make you go, oh my God, this is Mustafar. It never even really occurred to me. And then again, it was like, why are we on Mustafar? Why? And then if Vader had this Wayfinder, why was it in a crate out in the woods?
Exegol is a metaphor for the sequel trilogy.
Under-designed and overpopulated. I don't know.
So with that, I think we can bring our entire season of Star Wars to a close.
We've done it.
We've done
Man,
it.
doesn't it kind of feel like Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
right?
Lord, yes. And this is why.
In what way?
This is why we do not stray from the source material.
Yeah.
Even though this wasn't really had source
The
material.
more and more I
kind of,
think about it, the
maybe,
more.
just-
I was
Heir
like,
to the freaking Empire. Sorry.
no. Even, but
I know.
the more
Girl,
They
said
literally
no.
took
I
the,
wanted
the base for
bloodlines.
it.
I
They-
wanted bloodlines for this, but yes.
They did.
get
They
it.
brought in so much from Heir to the Empire and just did it really poorly. So, if you
Anyway.
want a better episode 9, please go read
book.
Timothy Zahn's original trilogy that came out in the early 90s. It's fantastic.
But you
gonna
won't
plug
get
him.
Lando. You won't get Lando's Muppet driver that just goes, okay. Like I love
But
that.
you get Lando, and he's
Okay,
fantastic
cool.
in those.
Cool.
Like, and if you listen to the audiobooks, who is it that does the? He's Mark. Is it
Oh!
Mark? You know who I'm talking
Reed.
I
about?
can't remember his name.
He does
Oh,
all the
God.
voices, and they are
Yes.
his Leia voice is fantastic, and so is his Chewie. But like, listen to the audiobooks if you get a chance. What is his name?
I can't remember.
I did. I listened to the first Heir of the Empire audiobook kind of while we were doing this after you guys talked about it. But yeah, it's very good. Very good. His Leia is amazing.
His Leia is so good. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
it's awesome.
So the audiobook's really fun. If you don't read physical books, the audiobook's great as well.
I was gonna ask,
I'll
we've now
plug
done
that
it.
for Timothy.
We've gone through all 12. Jess hasn't seen the holiday special, but we've gone through all 12. And on letterbox.com, you get to pick your 4 favorites and you put it on the front page, put it on your profile page. If you had to put up your 4 favorites of what we've watched here, the Star Wars saga, what would they be?
the holiday special is better than episode 8.
Yeah.
Yes. Mark Thompson is the narrator, by the way.
Mark Thompson.
Mark
I'm like,
Thompson.
Mark, you know, me and him are good old
know, like, I had a
pals.
Dave, what do you think? What would be your 4?
Probably Rogue One is going to be my number 1, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And honestly, probably the prequels.
Okay,
Go
just
for
1,
both.
2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think mine's A New Hope, number 1, and either the 4K 77 or the revisited. Last Jedi is my number 2. Sorry, everybody, but Last Jedi is my number 2. Phantom Menace is my number 3, and then the Rogue One HAL 9000 cut would be my number 4.
I got a question before we get into this. Is there a fan edit of The Godfather?
Mm-hmm.
There is?
Yeah, there is, and you'd be shocked how many fan edits are of everything.
Like
Especially Godfather, they took 2 and 3
3 and put
and cut them into one movie, and yeah, they do all of them. Yeah,
Just curious.
anything with fans.
Mel, let's go to you. If you had to do the 4, you're in the middle of the 2 of them on my screen. So
Yeah. The sad thing is I'm almost gonna be like with Dave because I really like Rogue One. And
it's the best Star Wars film. It's not even
it's so good.
It's very good.
No, and I really do like the prequels. I'm trying to think of this is sadly some of the there's something to be said about some of the Lego Star Wars movies because those are good. And again, that's like
Season
Wait a
3,
minute.
Lego Star Wars. There we
because
go.
they're amazing. And again, that's one of those
So good writers exist.
good
Why don't
writers
you
that
guys
know the source material so much in their hearts, where during
Enough that they can
they
make
were
jokes
like
about
that Sam Witwer at a reading,
Sam
kind of
Witwer,
thing,
so
and then
good.
having no problem picking up their hands, going, "Yeah, that's not right." Having the full
Mhm.
actually, and then having people not get mad that they got actually and go, "Wait, what? Oh, wait, okay, yeah, I don't want to, anger my audience.
Yeah,
How do
you're
I
right.
fix this?"
Yeah.
And not, Yeah, I think I might want to go. I'll just go the Rogue One as number one, and I want to put the prequels because I love the prequels so much because even back then when I was watching that in my 20s, I was a theater Shakespeare nerd, and I love the heck out of that the fall, how shadow government in the background and how to make an empire fall, because I just love Palpatine. So he's such a deliciously evil character. He's so Shakespeareanly bad. And that's why I kind of really hate the fact that he was used in this one, because it didn't feel like a Palpatine flex. Because
It wasn't scary.
It wasn't scary because the problem with him is that he's so smart. It's not just like unlimited power. It's the fact that it's here. I mean, heck, they reuse it again within
the puppet
Clone
master.
Wars, and you realize how or the Bad Batch on how he's the one that was able to switch clones to troopers in such a deliciously evil
Tarkin is a better
way.
villain than Palpatine in the sequels.
Yeah, and that's why I think I really like Rogue One is you have Tarkin being this dude. I'm 10 steps ahead of you, Krennic. What are you? You're adorable, sir. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but yeah.
The bad guys never even knew the good guys existed in Rogue One.
No,
just
no, they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You
How about you, Dad?
I like the fact that they're arrogant, but yeah, the arrogance is what ends up doing them in.
It's one family and like 3 planets. Who saw that coming? I think that's why Star Wars on television, like Andor works so well.
Andor's great.
It legitimately talks about a world where it's not about this one guy. It's, you know, like we talk about Hitler as he's evil, he's whatever, but Hitler had all these people around him. Like it's always like Star Wars has a problem of focusing in on just these main characters. I think that's why at the end of episode 9, it is the worst sin that the sequel trilogy commits is Rey saying she's Rey Skywalker.
I'll admit, that really confused me when I left the theater. I said, I kind of knew where her heart was at the end of that movie, and I didn't understand why she said it out loud. Like, why does she? Because but then again, I'm not someone that had to like choose a family, you know.
But if you were, why wouldn't it be Solo? Because Leia and Han both had the surname Solo.
Yeah, even Palpatine calls him the last Skywalker when he pushes Ben off the thing. It's a very strange. Also, again, the sin of naming movies after characters, like this is a Marvel thing. Yeah. This is Star Wars, which is kind of why that fan edit that's called The Final Order. I'm like, okay, well, at least it's not called.
It works for Marvel because it's based on the comic books that the characters are based on.
Right. And Star Wars is about what's going on ethereally in the planet, like, or in the galaxy. Like, you know, the Empire is striking back. It's not the adventures of Darth Vader, you know? I don't know. We haven't heard Jess's top 4.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's going to be so surprised. It's Empire and Return of the Jedi as 1 and 2.
Beautiful.
3 is probably A New Hope, and 4 is Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be my son's favorite, Revenge of the Sith, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's strange. I didn't do this intentionally.
Classic lineup for a lot of fans.
Yeah. You're very original trilogy on that.
Yeah.
You guys are very prequel trilogy, and
I'm the wrong demographic. I should be 20 years older and a man. I don't know.
The Force is feminine.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Mine, I guess I'm all over the place because I have an original and a sequel and an offshoot, and I didn't do that on purpose, but kind of maybe my favorite of each one. Scott went Rogue One.
No, that was before we recorded.
Oh, okay. What do you got?
Also, am I allowed to say Andor?
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought we're doing just the movies.
Oh, we are, but go for it.
Yeah, no, I'll do them. So it's Rogue One. And then can I put Rogue One as number 2 as well? No.
Sure. You can have all 4 as
Rogue One, Return of the Jedi, Episode 1. I've been the whole time you guys been talking. I'm trying to figure out number 4. I actually like. There's things like I like number 2, but I do not like half that film.
Same. That was my debate too. I wanted to have 2 in my lineup, but I was like
it's. I like number 3, but I don't like half that film. I like number 5, but I don't like half that film. Probably would be number 3 then. I just like the space battle at the beginning. It's super cool.
Yeah.
the
Oh, and I
music.
love that Jedi's in there.
The music is really no. That's because episode 3 is where they're flying along and then they move and the camera shifts and just like it's just crazy.
Down.
There's a whole war going on.
Yeah.
That shot alone puts it number 4.
All right.
But like
I think that is the best opening ever in all of the Star Wars films.
Because it's quiet and just.
Oh my gosh!
Not quiet, but until
it's in the middle of a war. You know,
Yeah.
they had the benefit of like there's a war going on. Yeah.
It follows up. So when we talk about how 9 fixes a bunch of 8, which I didn't comment on, I don't think it's as Kevin pointed out. I don't think it's as 1-to-1 as people point out. This is the Rogue One Star Wars Episode 4. Not as close, but when you end Episode 2, the war is really kicking off. And when you kick into 3, you're like, nope, we're still doing this. Like it could literally be like the next day. And this is where we're at, right? There's a little more to it, but like and I think that's this where the prequel trilogy feels connected, the sequel trilogy feels connected, and with Rogue One, I think it really, really. I think the cardinal sin that the sequel trilogy did was it doesn't feel connected to me. It just feels like it could have been like 3 episodes of television. Well, hold on. If it was like Obi-Wan Kenobi, it would have been like 47 episodes of television where we only needed 2, but it would have been fine. So
all right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the best thing the sequel trilogy gave us, there's some great characters. Like I said, I love Rey. I think if you look at 7, 8, 9, and you're just following the Rey and Kylo storyline, it feels much more connected. But it's the way they kind of drop things and pick things up along the way. Like you guys pointed out, it's Snoke, it's Palpatine, it's Finn's going on this journey. Well, no, Finn's here.
Yeah, never mind.
Poe has a little bit more of a arc, which is ironic because he was meant to die in that opening crash, and he was kept alive. The droids are kind of forgotten about, and then they're brought back in a big way in the end, which made me happy. But the Knights of Ren kind of pop in and out, but the only thing that really had a thread was Kylo and Rey.
Yeah.
Everything else was kind of jumbled. There's Rose, and then there's no Rose, and then there's Janna, and there was a thing that Finn and Janna were supposed to lead a stormtrooper revolt at one point in this third movie, and I thought I'd love to see that. If you give me an extra 40 minutes of that,
I don't. There's a
and then suddenly Billy D. Williams.
Yeah,
I
was happy to see him, but I would have rather seen him as the code breaker in Episode 8.
Yeah.
True. I do want to say there was one other return that we haven't touched on because it was a cameo that came and went. Wicket. Our young
and his son.
The young child Ewok returns with his son, played by his son.
Played by his actual son.
And I think that was another one of those John Williams moments of so much love and care was given to be able to do that. He has done so many characters over the course of the years that it made sense to bring him back, and it made sense to bring Wicket back since you brought back all these other memorable characters, and to bring his real life son in as his Ewok son.
Did they say it was Wicked? I thought it was just Willow in his Halloween costume.
Yeah.
But with that,
it was sweet. And And then, there's a lot of, love it, don't love it. There's a lot of Return of the Jedi in Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
And that thing at the end to like tie it all back in and seeing all the planets the way they've kind of done in Jedi. It was lovely.
Yeah.
No.
So that brings to a close our Rise of Skywalker and our season of Star Wars.
Yay.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
We survived.
And if this movie put you off from going to see Solo, go see Solo. Solo's actually really good.
Yeah, Solo would be number 5.
Yeah.
Solo's really good.
Great.
Yeah, Solo was
Ronald Glover steals that movie like it ain't no thing.
Yeah.
And
Woody.
if nothing else, if this movie made you, or if this podcast made you watch the holiday special, then it's a win.
I kid you not. The whole time I was like, I don't think the sequel does anything. The sequel trilogy does anything that I like more than the holiday special at this point. I'm being like honest. I actually legitimately like B. Arthur. It's weird, but I actually think I like it more than like episode 8 total. Like it's just like I'm not trying to be controversial here. I'm legitimately being like it's the worst part of the holiday special. And I think I still do like it more than episode 8. And it's like
there's your hot take here, folks.
Yeah. Holiday special better than okay. And I won't get into my whole Rey theory. Maybe I'll make a separate video.
That's because B. Arthur's character was Rey's mom.
That's it.
What happened was one night she met a guy at the bar while she was closing.
She was a scouser.
Yeah. Man, it makes total sense now.
It's all coming together. It's poetry.
Lucas loved bookends,
It's poetry. It all rhymes.
Yeah, it all rhymes.
Yep. Okay, but can we believe it's been a year that we've been doing this?
That's crazy.
That's
12
nuts.
monthly episodes.
That's crazy.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you guys have joined me on this and that you're going to continue joining with me for the second season.
What season 2?
Season 2.
So
somehow season 2 has returned.
Wait, did we actually plan this out? Like that we know what we want to do for the next 12 episodes?
We did. And so for those of you at home,
but wait, tell me more.
I asked these 4
Dave, let Dave speak.
I asked these lunatics to give me 3 films and a Christmas film that I could choose from. And I was going to pick 2 from each of them, as well as from myself, and 1 Christmas movie. And that was going to be our season. That gives us 10 movies, Christmas, and I threw in 1 extra as the host, myself, and that's our Halloween episode. But Cameron has a wonderful little graphic here of the season.
There it is.
Next month we start with Back to the Future. And
all 3 of them, or just 1? Are we just watching 1, or are we watching all 3?
Heck, I'm sure all 3 of them will come up, but we are only watching the 1.
Okay, copy that.
Then we're going to follow that up with Labyrinth.
Yes.
Amazing.
We get some more Muppet goodness, more Jim Henson goodness. Carrying on with the Jim Henson out of complete dumb luck, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1991.
Love it.
That was my pick. The best of the Ninja Turtle movies.
Yes.
But we'll talk about that more.
Next, the live action ones.
Of the live action ones. I would argue full stop.
No, the new one's really good.
I've heard really good things. I've not seen Mutant Mayhem yet.
Really
I've heard really good things. I will have to watch it before we get to that episode. The next one, we're going to something a little bit more obscure. I'm going to Get You, Sucka.
I'm going to Get You, Sucka. Never seen it. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped to see it.
Yeah,
so much.
I'd never even heard of it until Melanie put that out there. I'm super excited with that.
Y'all are gonna have a time with this one.
I'm loving it.
I love it.
Then we come to October and our Halloween. It is Mad Monster Party, which is Rankin Bass.
I've never even heard of this movie. I don't know. Yeah, it's wild.
It is the one DVD that my ex-wife took with her when we split up, and I replaced it because it's just fun in the same way that Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer are fun for Christmas. This is fun for Halloween.
I can't wait.
Then we go on to X-Men First Class.
Nice.
So, and I think why do I feel like I moved one of those around? No, no, it was my element that I moved around. That's right. X-Men First Class. We get some X-Men, a little Marvel.
Is this the one where they go back in time?
No,
or like they don't go back in time, but it's like set back in time?
It is set. This is this is their origin story.
Okay.
Yes.
No, Wolverine
That's
Origin
cool.
Story was Wolverine Origin Story.
Oh, this is the rest of their origin
They
story.
put it in the title.
Then we get to Christmas and Muppet Christmas Carol.
Heck yes.
The best.
Multiple people chose that, so we couldn't
Michael
not
Caine
do
in
that.
a Christmas film, and it's Michael Caine in a Christmas film. Christmas with Michael Caine.
Oh,
Love it.
That's the theme song for that one.
Yes. Do that on the kazoo.
On the kazoo, yeah.
and then because Dune 3, Part 3 comes out at the end of December. January, we're going to be doing Dune from 2021. I'm sure we'll touch on the on 2 and 3 as well in there, but specifically Dune Part 1.
Nice.
And then we get a little bit more obscure again with Highway to Hell.
I've never heard of this movie.
This is this was filmed in I think 89, didn't come out till 91. And it's got Rob Lowe and Christy Swanson. It's
okay.
Or is it Chad Lowe? No, sorry, Chad Lowe.
Chad Lowe.
Yeah,
Chad Lowe. Okay, yeah.
And Gilbert
Rob
Gottfried.
Lowe's brother.
Okay, well now we got something. All right.
Yeah,
Now
that's
we're
why
talking.
Rob Lowe was in my head because it's his brother.
Christy Swanson. Wow.
Okay.
And Ben Stiller has multiple cameos, and the entire Stiller family have cameos.
Oh
It
my
is-
goodness.
And there's more cameos again. It is
Who picked this one?
I picked this one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I could tell by the
Because
way
the
he was
rest of us all
talking.
like
I
to hear
knew
that.
that.
Is it scary? I need to know if it's scary.
It's not a horror movie, no.
Okay, good.
It's more of a I wouldn't even call it a horror comedy.
Okay.
It's but it's I don't even, we'll talk about how to classify it. We can classify it. Next
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm watching Scott.
Soldier.
Yeah, the cats are coming out in full
Cats
force.
are coming out. Cats want to see Highway to Hell. Small Soldiers.
Yeah,
Soldiers.
Joe Dante. Who picked that one?
I have referenced this movie a lot for a specific game,
What are you
but
doing?
I barely remember the movie.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm
I mean,
super-
I don't know
good.
who picked this one.
You picked this one, Scott.
I
You
know
pick this. I've been trying to get my son to watch this since he was little, and he for some reason won't watch it. And
Fun
now
fact.
he has to. We'll watch it together.
The soldiers. Fun fact: the soldiers and are versus the Gorgonauts. The Gorgonauts are all voiced by the This Is Spinal Tap people, and the small soldiers are all voiced by the Dirty Dozen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And
it's actually like a weird little fact, but it's actually really cool.
I love that. And if this were happiness or Horses on Film, we could drink because I've worked with Gregory Smith.
You can drink
I
it.
don't know which one that is.
There we go. He's the boy, like the lead.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
that makes
on Everwood.
sense.
Next up,
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
Nice.
The Island.
The Island. I'm excited about this one.
2005. I've never seen this one, so I'm excited to get into this. This is one of Jess's picks.
It's one of my. It's a Michael Bay film before Michael Bay became like
Michael
We've
Bay.
got a
Michael
couple good
Bay?
ones.
he like where he kind of hit his thing where it's like, oh, this is very Michael Bay. This is before that, where it's like
Okay.
tasteful Michael Bay.
You want to
Less
see where
explosions.
Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael Bay like hit that apex and they hit together before they both go like, and I think they hit and they go "Woo," and explodey is The Rock.
Eh?
That's a good
Where
one.
they both are like, maybe explosions aren't plot.
Well, technically, The Rock is an island, but this is the island.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this one's the island. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
see
this
what you
is
did
Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. So can you go wrong?
Yeah.
It's
Sean
actually
Bean's in it too.
It's
There you
really
go.
good. It's actually legitimately a good movie.
It
All
is my favorite of all times. Like,
Oh, wow.
this is my favorite film ever.
I'm super
I was-
excited.
There's gonna be some
I was told I
happiness.
couldn't put my favorite film on the list.
We've got a season 3.
Or if you guys want, it's not a happy film.
We'll
Oh,
we'll,
no.
we'll figure it out. That and I appreciate that we went with happier films for this.
Hmm.
And the last one of the season. So this time next year,
National
Treasure's so
Treasure.
good.
I've never seen this.
Oh,
It's
so
so good. And
Yeah.
Sean Bean.
So good. Sean Bean again.
you're kidding,
Sean
right,
Bean,
Cam?
Christopher Plummer, John Voight, Christopher
You've
Plummer.
never
Nicolas
seen
Cage.
National
It's-
Treasure?
Yeah, I've never
Imagine-
seen it. Never
Imagine
seen
if
it.
Nicolas Cage did a Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
good.
That's
Yeah,
the best.
and-
One of the best.
I'm going to steal the
Diane
Declaration
Kruger.
of Independence. You don't know that?
But I would even say that this is also before Nicolas Cage became too Nicolas
Yes.
Cage.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
this is
Very
tasteful
insightful.
Nicolas Cage.
Well,
Very
They did a whole season on
insightful.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Would have been amazing.
Snake Eyes. Yeah, no, I've never seen this. I'm very excited to see National Treasure.
Actually,
Did they
they're
make a
both
sequel?
really
They made
good.
a second one, right?
Yeah,
they
and
made
a
Yeah, they
TV
did.
series.
And a TV series
Made
that you
three.
can avoid.
3.
Did they make
3.
three?
Was
No.
it a TV,
TV series.
series? Oh,
There's a
gosh.
TV.
There's a
There was
TV
a
series on
TV
Disney
series as
Plus.
well. Yeah, and the TV series got shafted. It was good.
Yeah.
It deserved another season to really catch its stride, but it was good.
You know what?
Like Class? Sorry.
Yeah. You know what? You know what movie I've been thinking about while we watch this whole thing? Being like, we should talk about that because I just want people to watch this movie and be like, what the hell happened? Is Buckaroo Banzai.
Yes.
Great movie.
Oh,
Great movie.
Sorry.
Well, look,
Yep. I'm good with that one.
keep that in the
There is
background.
a
when you walked
hilarious.
into me, watched it halfway through once and went, I don't understand. And I was like, if it makes you feel better, I watched it from the beginning and you and I are both in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's so good. And
There's a hilarious moment in that my friends and I reference all the time. I won't say it right now, but there's just a random line, like an ADR line from off screen that makes no sense, and it's perfect because that movie makes no sense. But
makes no sense.
yeah, but what fun! Yeah,
It is so good.
Season 3. Well, we're already excited
you
about
go.
season 3, and we haven't even done season 2. So.
Exactly. We can keep going for as long as we want. I was telling you guys before, there was a world where season 2 was going to be all of the Planet of the Apes films.
Oh, I'm into that too.
I
think
love
that
that.
would be
too.
But this is so much better.
You could do Star
I
Trek.
did.
There's 12 of them.
I put the original Planet of the Apes as one of my picks too.
you did.
So yeah.
I'm sure it'll make an appearance. Well, if season 2 goes as well as we are all expecting it to, given how excited we are, we
Yeah.
might go with a similar concept for season 3. Who knows?
Can
We'll
season
see.
4 be terrible films?
See, I have no problem. So we're doing Doctor Who, the TV movie.
Scott,
Just-
Scott, are you okay?
Might I note that we were happier looking and talking about other movies than we were episode 9?
Yes, this is true.
Just something
This,
to
Smiles
this
point
has
out.
everywhere.
brought
Exactly.
true
I think
happiness.
That's the happy
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, this is
so
true
good.
happiness, and I like this too because each one of these come from us. We might all if one comes in and it's like, oh, we all love this. This is great. At least we know one of us is very passionate about
One
it.
of
Loves
us.
it. Yeah,
One
yeah.
of us.
I like
No,
the-
it's gonna be good.
There's part of me that likes the idea of trying to sell the film to everyone else.
Yeah,
No, this is really good, and you're like, yeah, I really liked it, but I don't understand.
like I did. For the
We
last
should do
3
that for the
episodes.
bad film season.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a great idea. That's so.
All right.
No, how can you not like this film? He took the mouth of the one person, he sewed it on the. Okay, no,
Nope.
No,
Nope.
no.
Nope.
no.
Not watching that.
I've never seen it. You don't
Neither have
need to.
I. We're gonna
And
go this
on that
way.
note,
All I ask is don't make me watch a movie that takes place like in water or on a boat because I'll.
There's a world where it's water.
Yeah, I've seen that one, but yes.
good.
Anyway, yes.
How about
Or
ones
nothing
that-
too scary. Nothing too scary, right? Highway to Hell, it still has me a little nervous.
I don't think it's gonna be that kind of
I would not be. Don't be worried. It is not a horror movie. I know you don't like horror movies. I don't like horror movies.
I don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like
yeah.
horror movies either.
So
Yeah.
no, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by it. I I think we will all find stuff that we are pleasantly surprised about in season 2, starting with Back to the Future.
Oh,
I haven't heard of this one. Who's in it?
Oh, I can't remember.
some kid from Edmonton, I guess.
Yeah, some kid from Edmonton. Yeah, and some old guy.
Edmonton is awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yes, Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future. It's
Too
going to
good.
be great.
Zemeckis,
I see. I had a joke lined up, but I couldn't remember Eric Stoltz's name.
Eric Stoltz.
When he said, "Who's in this?" I was going to say Eric Stoltz. I'm like, I can't remember his name.
I mean, they shot almost the whole
I
movie. with
appreciate
him.
the effort. I really do.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wind this up in our traditional manner, and say, Cameron, what's something that's making you happy, and where can we find you?
Well, I mean, I thank you first of all for even creating this and bringing me on, and the idea that we got to spend the last year talking about these Star Wars movies that I love, and I watch them over and over and over already, but to have an excuse to do it was brilliant. So thank you so much. I can't wait to go back through them now, especially now thinking about all the things that I've learned from you guys about the backstory and the lore and the books and all this stuff. I'm pumped, and I want to play more Outlaws and really like explore these places. So yeah, I would say Star Wars is making me happy, and you guys and the fact that we could talk Star Wars. What's better than that? You know, this is a dream. And then what's that? Sorry.
And where can we find you?
You can find me on the other podcast we do with Dave and Scott, and sometimes Mel, and eventually Jess, called Horses on Film. We have a YouTube channel there at Horses on Film. We're on Letterboxd, Horses on Film. We're on Instagram, Horses on Film Podcast. We're talking Westerns. We're talking specifically the top 100 Westerns, and then anything else that we think maybe should be on that list of top 100, and we're plowing through it, and we're out in the Old West, and we're loving it. I'm also on letterboxd.com as Cameron Chapman, where you can see all my, you can go through everything I've said about Rise of Skywalker and go, oh yeah, he's not right about this. Anyway, yeah, that's me.
All right, and Scott, where can we find you, my good friend?
Breakfast Scotch National, like I always say, that's where I try to. The world is kind of a crazy place right now. Ask my Florida friends, but I try my best to try to bring some levity to it. I also really enjoy the Horses on Film podcast. Get into to watch a bunch of films and a genre I'd normally not watch is actually been a fascinating. So I'm really happy that we met on here and got to go do that. It's nice. I missed last month, but it's nice seeing Mel and Jess again. I accidentally hit a button while I was wiping cat hair off my little trackpad there. But no, it really does bring me joy. I was in a mood when I started, and by the end of this, I'm actually like in a really good place. So thank you very much for that. Cameron's unending optimism, the wealth of knowledge that both Jess and Mel bring to, even like when I'm like, wow, I think I know Star Wars, and all of a sudden you're like, no, you don't. And I was like, no, I don't. like, tell me more. And it's fascinating. It really it blows my mind every time. I don't think I've ended one of these episodes without learning like 20 things, and it makes me appreciate Star Wars more. I wish Disney would let Star Wars be better. But you help me. Everyone here, including Dave, helps me enjoy Star Wars when sometimes it feels a little dark. So thank you very much. And thank you to the audience for listening to me go on and on and on, and maybe hopefully laughing at one of my bad jokes that I think about, like that one person, you know who you are, Chris. If that worked, by the way, if Chris is like, you laugh at his jokes, man, he's going to lose his mind. So well, yeah, this is for you, Steve, Jill, Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying all the names. Hold on, let me see.
It's
A is
that
for
old-
Aaron. Aaron, thank you for listening. Aaron, thank you for listening. No, like I'm done.
It's an old kids show of a magic mirror, and I see
Magic Mirror.
Susie and Billy and Steve.
Romper Room?
Yeah, Romper Room. That was Calgary, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think it was.
I think it was Toronto.
It was
Okay.
Canadian for sure.
Most definitely Canadian, because if we zoomed out to Jess and Mel, they'll be like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, I told you. There it is. See, you can learn something. No doubt about it. You learned something as well, eh? Those crazy came up.
The raccoons.
Oh, the raccoons are so good, and that theme song is amazing.
It's true. There's some great. If you go onto Spotify and look it up, there's a ton of remakes of that song, and the theme is
so
great.
Good. That song, the original is so 80s that I can't even begin. It's so good.
It's true.
Kind of like
and the ladies are looking at us like, okay, shut up now. I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I've got the Michael Caine in a Christmas film stuck in my head right now. I'm like, Michael Caine in a Christmas. Yeah, it's going to be stuck in my head the next week.
You're welcome. And for that week, where can we find you as that week goes on?
Songs One Cosplay on Instagram and Facebook. Or if you are in the Florida area, Takadana Temple Saber Guild. I'm the local director there. So we train people in lightsaber combat and put on performances for charity, which we've got a ton of May events coming up, which is extremely exciting. And they're all charity based, which is making me happy. So I'm loving doing it for, I think we're actually going to be performing at Give Kids the World. So I'm very excited about that.
Cool.
Nice. And last but far from least, Melanie, what's something that's making you happy and where can we find you?
Right. Oh, I am going back into the world, Star Wars, but it's Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO RPG game, or MMO, that I used to play from BioWare a long time ago, and I'm getting back into that. And what makes me happy is that I used like an old, like long dead email account for it, and they were able to get my old all my characters and stuff back. So I'm really happy about that because I spent hours in there. So yeah, I get to go back into the world of Old Republic. So I'm gonna have fun with that. Nice. As for where you can find me on Instagram and all the socials at Pieces of Melee. If I'm ever on there, because I just haven't been on there. I've kind of like disconnected from social media for a while, and it's been nice for my mental health and just getting my life in order, getting everything sorted out. Plus, for granted, people seeing this will be May. It's March for me, and I'm getting because I'm getting ready for MegaCon for next week. So while everyone else it's long been happened since listening to me ramble on now. In Melanie's present day, she's going a little bit nuts getting ready for that show. So yeah.
and we're gonna back up because I didn't actually ask Jess. Besides Michael Caine, what's making you happy?
Oh,
we didn't actually ask you what was making you happy. Just
but I said it. I said that we're going to be doing charity stuff at Give Kids the World Village in May, which is when this is premiering. So that's making me and we've got a couple other events, and we're raising money. There's potential that we're raising money for charity as our group for the first time in the 5 years it's been established. So I'm excited to do charity work as a Jedi because I think that's kind of cool. So that's making me happy. I get to be a real life Jedi.
Yeah.
You're always a Jedi in my heart. So.
Aw, thanks.
Jedi.
How about you, Dave?
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
I'm happy you guys have stuck with us, audience and panelists. We're like family. I love you all, and I'm so happy that you joined us on this year-long exploration of Star Wars, and I'm so happy that everyone's excited about next season.
Yeah.
and I'm about to go on a very long road trip, which hopefully will be long in my past. By the time you're watching this,
Mhm.
I'm excited. Things are going well in my world in general, and but most of all, it's just you guys are making me so happy. I love doing this. I love doing Horses on Film as well in between these recordings.
Mhm.
Like Scott, I have more experience with westerns than Scott does, but not nearly as much as Cam. And so it's been a great exploration. If you want to discover something new that you maybe aren't used to, check out Horses on Film, youtube.com/@horsesonfilm. For me, Cameron, sometimes Melanie, sometimes various other guests. We almost always have a special guest on there. And they've been some amazing guests. So check out Horses on Film. You can also find me on Sundays on Spill the Geek Tea at Spill the Geek T1. Tuesdays on The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, talking Doctor Who with Melanie and occasionally Jess, but not as often as we'd like.
I know. Sorry.
That's okay. You're very busy, which is why it's even happier that you're here. And of course on my regular channel, youtube.com/the rathole DOTCA. That's the rathole.ca, but YouTube does not like URLs in their URLs. Lately, I've been playing Sabak like crazy. The Holocard Cantina app or the Sabak Cantina app, depending on where you're getting the app from. I've been having a ton of fun with that, playing like crazy. So thank you. I appreciate all the follows. All of us appreciate you all. No, and I also cat butts make me happy.
They're always
We
in
got
the
plenty.
Yeah, we got plenty of them coming through here tonight. So we always close with a kazoo of Star Wars, and so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna put this up here, and we'll all say goodnight. And will this be the last time, or will we keep the Star Wars theme music going for the next season?
Oh,
You have to
see.
tune in next month to find out. Bounce.